I never imagined that one single choice could change everything. One decision, one word, one moment, and the life I thought I knew crumbled completely. I exposed my best friend, the person I had trusted more than anyone else, the one I laughed with, cried with, shared every secret with, and confided in more than anyone else in the world. And every day since that moment, regret has haunted me. Every day I feel the weight of what I did pressing down on me like a shadow I cannot escape, heavy and relentless, pressing on every thought, every action, every relationship I attempt to maintain. At first, I tried to justify it. I told myself I was doing the right thing. I convinced myself that honesty was necessary, that revealing the truth would somehow protect them, or even protect others. I told myself I was being courageous, that I was doing the morally right thing. But deep inside, I knew. A small voice in my head whispered warnings I refused to hear. Some secrets are sacred. Some truths are too dangerous, too fragile, too private to reveal. I hesitated. I debated endlessly, imagining every possible outcome. And yet, I spoke. I revealed it. The moment I did, the air shifted. I remember their face vividly, the shock, the disbelief, the hurt, the betrayal. Their eyes searched mine, silently asking, "Why?" That question pierced me deeper than anything I had ever felt. I wanted to take it back, to erase those words, to rewind time, but it was impossible. Once revealed, secrets take on a life of their own. They twist, spread, and pierce through the lives of everyone involved, including you. The days that followed were unbearable. Our friendship, once effortless, became fragile. Conversations carried tension, glances carried silent judgments, and even mutual friends began to behave differently. I could feel the shift, the distance growing, the bond we had built for years slowly unraveling. Every interaction became a delicate minefield. Every smile I forced felt hollow. Every word I spoke felt like a calculated performance. I was trapped in a cage of my own making, surrounded by walls built of guilt, fear, and shame. Guilt became my constant companion. It invaded my thoughts, haunted my dreams, and sat with me in the silence of the nights. I replayed the moment endlessly. The hesitation, the final words, the instant I crossed a line that could never be uncrossed. Each replay intensified the shame, deepened the sorrow, and reminded me that some decisions have consequences that never fade. I saw their pain every time I closed my eyes, felt it in the empty spaces where our friendship used to be, and realized that some actions do not just affect others, they change you. They alter the very core of who you are. Months passed, and the consequences only deepened. I withdrew from social events, avoided places we had gone together, and distanced myself from mutual friends. Every encounter carried the risk of reopening the wound I had caused. Even casual conversations became exercises in careful calculation. Every word, every gesture, every glance reminded me of the person I had hurt, and of the bond I had broken beyond repair. The what-ifs consumed me. I imagined every possible alternate path, every possible choice that could have spared them and myself from this endless torment. There were near disasters, moments when the secret almost slipped. A friend casually mentioning a detail out of context, someone asking a question I hadn't prepared for, a laugh that reminded everyone of what they shouldn't know. Each of these moments sent my heart racing, my mind scrambling for cover. I felt like a tightrope walker suspended over a pit, constantly balancing above ruin, with every step threatening to shatter what little stability I had left. Nights became unbearable. Sleep fled me as I lay awake, haunted by memories of laughter, secrets, and trust that I had irreversibly damaged. I imagined the pain in their heart, the disappointment in their eyes, the trust that would never fully return. I imagined every alternate reality. If I had stayed silent, if I had protected them, if I had never spoken. The what-ifs became endless, cutting deeper than any words I could ever speak. Time passed, but the scars remained. I changed. I became hyper-aware, cautious, and reflective. I second-guessed every choice, measured every word, and considered consequences in ways I never had before. Even joy was tinged with caution, with the memory of the mistake I had made, the bond I had broken, the person I had hurt most in the world. That one decision had not only changed them, it had changed me. Yet through all the pain, I began to see lessons hidden within the regret. I learned the fragility of trust, the weight of loyalty, the permanence of actions. I realized that some truths are not ours to reveal, that protecting someone sometimes requires restraint, even when it is uncomfortable or inconvenient. I learned that courage is not always speaking. Sometimes courage is holding back. I learned that empathy is more powerful than justification, and loyalty more important than perceived righteousness. I learned that every action, every word, every choice has consequences far beyond what we can ever predict. Even years later, the aftermath lingers. The cautious distance in their smile, the subtle tension in shared spaces, the unspoken pause in every interaction, they are all reminders that some damage cannot be undone. I have apologized, tried to make amends, tried to rebuild trust, but some cracks remain permanent. The bond we shared, the laughter we enjoyed, the intimacy we had, these are shadows now, fragile echoes of what was once unbreakable. And yet, the experience reshaped me. It forced me to reflect, to grow, and to confront my own flaws. I became more cautious, more deliberate, and more aware of the weight my choices carry. I learned to listen before speaking, to measure before acting, and to consider before exposing a secret. The experience is a permanent scar, yes, but also a guide. A constant reminder of the consequences of betrayal, the power of restraint, and the responsibility we have to those we care about. If you are watching this and feel the weight of a choice you have made, understand this. Exposing someone, revealing secrets, or betraying trust may feel justified in the moment, but the consequences are deep, lasting, and sometimes irreversible. True courage is restraint. True loyalty is protection. Awareness, empathy, and reflection are the only ways to prevent irreparable damage to the people we love. Sometimes the mistakes that haunt us the most are the ones that teach us the most. Sometimes the moments that leave scars are the moments that shape us into who we truly need to become. Regret, as heavy as it is, can also be a guide, a warning, a teacher, a compass pointing toward better choices in the future. If this story made you pause, reflect, or reconsider your own actions, do not ignore that feeling. It is the first step toward growth, understanding, and transformation. Subscribe for more raw, real, and deeply human stories, because sometimes the moments that hurt the most are the moments that teach us the most about who we are, what we value, and how we can navigate life with care, empathy, and awareness.